guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Christina and today I have for you a story time. I want to go ahead and share with you guys my experience when I had my first surgery. I want to go ahead and share with you guys when I got my appendix removed. So I got my appendix removed the day before Halloween. The way it started was I was at work and around 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, I started feeling some type of stomach ache. I went to the bathroom, but that didn't help. I was unable to do number 2 and the pain wouldn't go away. So I was like, you know what, I probably just ate something and maybe later on I might get diarrhea or something like that. I didn't think nothing of it because the pain was all over at this point. So I got off work, I picked up my daughters, I went home, and on my ride home, I was about 5 minutes away, and I called my husband. I was like, Alfred, I'm really having really bad pains. I'm not gonna be able to cook. I'm gonna go home, try to use the bathroom. Like, this is all that's happening in my head because I'm thinking I have diarrhea at this point. The stomach ache was getting a little, the pain was getting a little stronger. So I went and laid down on my bed. I was there for like an hour, but the pain just kept going stronger and stronger. But it wasn't a pain where I couldn't control. I was not crying or anything like that. I just felt it that it was getting stronger. So I called my sister because my sister got her gallbladder removed a few years back. So I wanted to go ahead and see, hey, how were her symptoms, how were her pains, or anything like that. The way she described it was very similar of the pain that I was experiencing at the moment. But we kept talking about different things. She made me laugh, so I kind of got distracted on the pain that I was feeling. Within the conversation, we had a really long conversation. It was probably like an hour-long call. And I was like, you know what, now that I'm talking to you, my pain is actually going towards my right side. I feel like maybe it's because of the way I was sitting. She was like, on your right side, on your top part of your right side of your stomach, or like on your bottom right? And I was like, on my bottom right, kind of like, at that point it was bottom right, but it was all over my stomach, but more towards my right side. So she was like, I'll go to the doctor. And I'm like, I don't want to go to the doctor and tell them, hey, I'm full of gas, I can't go to the bathroom, I have diarrhea. Like, what kind of... So that was in the bedroom. So I hung up with her and the pain just kept getting stronger and stronger and stronger. So Alfred was cooking because he hadn't cooked, or he was cooking for the girls since I was sick, or I was feeling sick. And all of a sudden I stood up and like the sharpest pain ever came on my right side. I just couldn't stand straight because of the pain. I was like, okay, this is something more than diarrhea. So I went to the couch and I laid down on my couch, and every minute, every second that passed, the pain just kept getting sharper and sharper. So I started on the lower part of my belly that was hurting, and then little by little it just started going from the belly button to the right side all the way to like where the actual appendix area is. So I call my mother-in-law and I tell her how I'm feeling, and she's like, you know what, you should go to the ER. And I was like, I don't know, because the ER is pretty far from me. So I do have an urgent care clinic next to me. So I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna go to the urgent care, let them give me some medicine, and I should be good to go. So Alfred takes me to the urgent care and he said, you want me to get you a wheelchair? I was like, no, I could walk. As soon as he opened the truck and I put my right foot down, like the sharpest pain ever, like at that point I wanted to cry. I was like, oh my God. I felt like something was like literally like sharping, like literally a stabbing pain. So I put my right, I was like, no, go get me the wheelchair, I'll wait. So he got me the wheelchair and he wheeled me in. I told the receptionist areas of my pains and what I was feeling, and I was literally there for like 10, 20, I feel like it was 20 minutes before they actually took me back. And at that point I was like crying. I just couldn't even stand up. Like, I literally was sitting down like this. Like, I had to bend over because sitting straight was painful. So they took me back, and then they left me another 5 minutes, and the nurse came and asked me what were my pains and why was I there, and I told her, and then they went and like, okay, we're gonna go ahead and do an MRI. So they did. They took me out to the MRI, and the nurse that did the MRI, she was like, we're gonna be there within 10 to 20 minutes so you can get your results. And I was like, okay. They put me back to my room where I was after the MRI, and within 5 minutes the doctor came in. He was like, we need an emergency surgery. You have appendicitis. And I was like, wait, what? And they gave me some morphine for the pain, and I really had like a weird reaction because as soon as they came into my body, I felt like my body was itching, and I felt like a really bad headache on my back of my head. But all that went away within a minute. As soon as I got there, they sent me to the operation room and they did surgery to get the appendix removed. After the surgery, they sent me to the recovery room. I was only there for 1 day overnight just so they can go ahead and make sure that the operation went well, just for observation. Within a few hours of the operation, they allowed me to go to the bathroom to try to stand up and try to see how I feel. The actual incision was about 3 to 4 inches long, and I did get staples. It was about maybe 8 to 10 staples, and if I remember correctly, I only had it for about a week or so, because the doctor did give me just 1 week off work. And I remember when he gave me the doctor's note on the first day after the surgery. I was like on a Sunday, and he was like, yeah, you'll be able to work next Monday. And I was like, I could barely stand up. Like, how are you gonna send me to work within a week? I'm not gonna be able to make it. And he's like, you'll be fine. And like, he was so rude about it. But he is an older doctor. He knew what he was talking about. The first and second day was the hardest part, because you had to actually stretch out the incision to make sure that you stand straight, you know, and actually stretch out the area to be able to walk and you know, and continue doing your normal life. After the third or fourth day, I was perfectly fine. My body started getting used to it. I was even cleaning, even though I wasn't supposed to. I was supposed to be in bed rest, but I was already cleaning like light stuff, you know. I wasn't walking too fast. I was taking my time, but I was able to walk around within the third or fourth day. The sixth and seventh day, when I had to get my stitches removed, I felt almost perfectly fine. The incision inside was not completely healed, but the actual outside on the part of my skin it healed pretty quickly. And the crazy part of this story is that after a month of my surgery, one of my good friends called me asking me, hey, what were your symptoms for the appendix? Yes, a month later, my friend had to go in to get her appendix removed. So I was like, that's freaking crazy how my friend had to do the same thing a month later. Well, that was all for my appendix surgery story. If you guys have any questions, as always, you can always ask me in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching my video. If you did please like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye guys. As soon as I got to the ER, they sent me straight to the operation room. Is that how you call it? Operation room? Once I got to the ER, they applied the anesthesia. And once the operation was done, they sent me to the